Kev G weather overview, and the New York City snowless winter continues across the tri-state area. We're up to 311 days since our last measured snowfall at Central Park, and that occurred on March 9th, 2022. Now, we did get some flurries over the weekend, but that didn't really count as measurable snow, although it was very wintry around here for Martin Luther King Jr. weekend with a lot of cold, and a lot of that had to do with a storm that was offshore, kind of menacing the area a little bit, but it didn't really throw direct impacts our way. But this storm's been sitting there for days, and it's going to be slowly creeping out of here over the next 24 hours or so, and it's going to be replaced by the clouds you see off to our west. And those clouds are mainly with another storm system, but a lot of that action is going to go up into southeast Canada. You can see the swirl there over Michigan and over portions of Canada. And that is another system that's going to move basically to our west and not really affect us all that much. The model is trying to bring in some passing showers tomorrow, but I don't think it will amount to anything. Now, interestingly enough, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that that storm is depicted offshore on the model, and you can see the other low, which is over the Midwest. You can see that low goes to the north, and a lot of the precipitation just gets strung out. So for tomorrow, I think we'll have plenty of clouds, but there may be a shower or two here and there, but I wouldn't expect much in the way of a soaking rain until we get to about Thursday or so. And this system has a little bit more moisture to work with, even though the primary low goes up over the Midwest, and there's some snow there for Minnesota and parts of Michigan and Wisconsin. But for us, we're on the warm side of the system, so we get rain. Now for Friday, as the storm pulls away, it may change over to snow in the interior, but not anywhere near the tri-state area. This is, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen probably over central and northern New England. And then we dry out for Friday night and a Saturday before another storm system moves in from the south. And rain will develop Sunday night into Monday. And this will be a soaking rain to start our week, most likely next week for Monday the 23rd. And once that goes by, we'll have windy and chilly conditions as that storm kind of intensifies to our north and west. And we'll have to wait and see if another storm wants to take a run at us around the 25th or the 26th. But there's just not a lot of cold air to work with. I mean, you know, you kind of need not only the moisture, but you need the cold air. And when you look at the upper air pattern off of the models today, it doesn't really look like cold air is, it's around, but it doesn't really look like it locks in. And it doesn't coincide with any type of precip over the next 7 to 10 days, especially. Now, once we get past the 25th or so, things may change and the weather pattern may become more dynamic and there may be more cold air to work with in time. But I'm not really seeing that off of today's models. They change from day to day. Of course, once we're past next Wednesday or so, it gets really out there in the long range. So we'll just have to see how this all plays out. There is a pattern change underway, but it's not exactly something that's going to turn our weather very wintry, at least in the near to medium term. So for tomorrow, we're looking at highs around 43, which is still above normal, believe it or not, for this time of year. And then we bounce it up to lower 50s on Wednesday. Quite mild on Wednesday. Thursday with rain, high around 45. Most areas seeing a fair bit of rain for Friday, and then it dries out. Sorry, Thursday, and then it dries out for Friday, with highs around 49. Saturday is the better of the two weekend days. It looks like with highs in the mid 40s, and then Sunday rain arrives probably in the afternoon with highs around 45. So our snowless winter continues. It's a bummer if you love cold and snow for this time of year to coincide with the wintry weather. But it is not going to pan out here, at least in the next 7 days, perhaps even longer, as we go through the latter portion of January.